Hello everyone, welcome to our next live WebCenter training. We'll be getting started here in just a moment. If you guys can let me know that you can hear me in the chat function, that'd be fantastic. There is going to be a little bit of a delay between what I record and what you guys see. It's about 10 seconds. So if you do type something, there will be a slight delay in response. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and log in here. This is the Holcam Web Center, and I will briefly go over just some of the stuff that we've covered in the last one for anyone new, and then I did want to cover today some of the slightly more advanced features, so setting up pricing and sort of those pricing related questions. Feel free during the entirety of this video to type any questions you might have into that chat feature at the bottom of the screen there or right into the video. Otherwise, you can email your questions to me. I'll type my email into the chat function here. If you do email me, I will not get to your response during the video. I will get to it right after. All right, you guys should be seeing that here in just a moment. All right, so for anyone that's new and is just joining us, the program that we have here is our order viewer and quote creator and order upload program. Overall, the big features are kind of all right here. So this order dashboard, this will let you see your current orders, and then your quotes that you create will show up down here. I'm not going to go into this in any real detail. If you do want to see more, you can view the previous webinar that we recorded with your invite link, or then you can email me at that email that I posted in the live chat. Or failing that, you can also view, I have pre-recorded videos that go through everything. They break it up into smaller segments on the holcam.com/webcenter site. It kind of breaks everything out into smaller chunks. So there's that option as well. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. Today, like I said, I wanted to talk about pricing. So some of the confusion that comes over with this program, when you get started, whenever you start with your first customer, you're always starting at what is your cost. But this program, no matter what price you put in, it is technically speaking your selling cost. Any price, any number in here is what the program thinks you're going to try and sell that door or that configuration at. And so that is where you'll see, I talked about it a little bit before, but that's where that common error, selling price is less than cost. That's where that comes from. And I did discuss how to go over that. I don't have any errors to show that on right now. But if you do encounter that, like I said, feel free to email me, and you can, and I can walk you through how to fix it. It's very simple. Okay, so like I said, we're going to go over pricing, and we're going to kind of focus on this screen right here with these terms and ship via, the pricing, and that sort of stuff. So let's actually, because it's pretty easy, we're just going to go through and set up terms and price via, or ship via, excuse me. So this is for you to set up for your end customers to have that information available on your quotes. It's basically, these are just kind of like text boxes. So I can put in net 90 in this case, since I already have others. I'm going to click add, and then those terms will show up as an option for you for every single quote. Ship via, same thing. You can set up any kind of route information you want. You can say, you know, whether it's location to location, you can set up by carrier, you can set up pretty much anything you want. And then that information will be available not only on each quote, but also when you do your customer setup. So whenever I start my first customer, I can skip all this financial information. If you come down here, you can set up your terms here. And you can also set up your default salespeople if you want to. So if you have a specific user that's going to be focusing on this customer, you can put that person in. All right. And then also what you can do on the quotes, let me grab one here. So when you're first setting up a quote, you'll see that you have this screen here, and you can set those terms standard, or you can change them here. And then you can also set ship via routes. You can do shipping comments. You can change the billing address information. All of that is all right here. And this came up a little bit this week as well. So the shipping information and the billing information that you see in here, this is the end customer. So this is your customer's shipping information. This is your customer's billing information. It's not yours, because when you submit the order, it will automatically go to your location and to your billing address. This is sort of as an extension of what you do to your end customer, for your end customer. All right, so then I think we've covered that pretty well. I'm going to go ahead and go over pricing. I am trying to keep today's session kind of quick and brief. I don't want to take up too much of anybody's Friday. So pricing will depend on the markup method that you have set up for your customer. I know most people like to default to markup from cost, which is absolutely fine, but we also have discount from list, and then we also have gross margin available. I don't know if I have any customers with gross margin. It doesn't look like it, but I can show it real quick. So the easiest way to set up pricing for any of your customers, like I said, you'll always start out at your cost. If that's what this 1.0 is, no matter what pricing method you choose, 1.0 will always be your cost. Okay, and so the first thing you can do, the easiest way to change cost, to put your markups, is to do it by customer. You come in here and you put a markup. So if I'm going to do a markup from cost and I want, my accent doors to be 1.5 times my cost, I can just add that in there. Or, if I want my estate sliders or Euro sliders to be 1.25 times my cost, same thing. And just down and down the line you go. And of course, anything that you don't want, if anything that you don't really use heavily, or, if you really just kind of want to see the cost of something, you can leave it at that 1.0. Okay, so that's the easiest way to do that. And when you apply those, that discount will automatically apply to any parts or options in that pricing category. So no matter what accent door you choose, if you have just this, then all of those accent doors will be 1.5 times your cost. All right. So the next way to do pricing is you can go a little bit deeper and do it at a slightly more specific level. If you come to pricing, and so I was doing markup from cost, so I'm going to go ahead and say pricing and markups. And I'm going to go ahead and stay with a brilliance category. And so you'll see I already have a table created here, but I'm going to go ahead and create another one just to show you guys. So what happens is you click this green table, or green circle, not green table, green circle, and you give it a name. Now it's important to know that if you only have one name per table, you can't move your tables between pricing categories. So it has to be a unique name. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK, and that'll create that table. All right, and so you'll see I'm starting here completely blank. Okay, now I have the ability to go through here and to put unique discounts on each and every single door in this category. 1.25 there, 1.252. I believe you can go to four decimal places. Oh, so that, and then say you get to a point where you're like, okay, I want the rest of my doors below this to be that markup. So I can actually click this green arrow, and it will fill that price down. And then if I click these options here, it will automatically also price all the options at that markup as well, and that additional markup. So if I were to hit like this green fill down, it'll tell you, do you want to fill everything down? You'll say yes. I'm not going to, but that is an option. You can go all the way down and fill everything at one discount. And then of course you can also, if you want to, you can come through and you can override pricing for specific options. So say if you wanted to do a slight increased amount for, say, an almond finish, if you want to charge a little bit extra for that, say you want to charge 2.0 for that, you can do that right on that option, only that option. Okay, and so once you've done this, you don't really have to do anything else. It's going to save it, every change you make in here automatically. Now to apply it, you have to come back to a customer, and I'm going to go ahead and choose my customer here. And I'm going to go through to these financial tables, and I'm going to find my brilliance category. Which is apparently missing, interestingly enough. All right, I have it. There we are. So what you do is you find that table under that category, and you click that table and you add it to that category. Now it's important to know that if you don't have any discounts on a specific item, then this markup multiplier that you have in here will automatically override that. So if you left anything in the table blank, if you didn't put any kind of discount in there or markup in there, then this will automatically override that. Same thing for options as well. Okay, and then all you have to do is just apply. And there you go, then that pricing table is set up. So you can go back through and you can do your quotes to a very specific level. And now if you have, say you have quotes already done and you want to change that price, you'll have to go through to those quotes, to the line items of those quotes, and you'll have to change that pricing information. So like for example here, I have this estate door, and I think this is one, yes, it is. This is that calculated cost is greater than calculated price that I was talking about. So this is one that I created. I set it up to do this specifically to show it. But basically what I'm saying right now is, or what this is trying to say is that I'm trying to sell this door at $223.12, which is less than my cost, which my cost is $263.08. So it's saying you can't do that. That's not okay. Now the way to fix that is to just come through here and just add to that price, and then you'll see when you save it, voila, there we go. Now, in most cases, you'll only see this when you have a penny difference. That's generally what it is something to do with the rounding. And if you're applying these costing tables and these markup tables, you wouldn't see this really ever at all. But there are customers that we have that like to stay just at cost. So that is where that error comes from. So that's sort of the same thing. So back to my original thought here. When you're ready to apply those discounts and say you have a door already done and you wanted to go back through and apply the discounts you've already done, you'll need to come in and click on that part and refresh it. So you click on the part, and then you just have to hit update. So this forces the page to refresh, and then it'll also apply that new pricing. And so there we are. You see it took out the pricing that I had before, and it put in that new calculated price that I had based on that table that I set up. All right. So that is a workable method for all of the 3 different types of pricing methods. But you do need to make sure that you're in the right category. So if you're doing a markup from cost, you need to make sure you're doing this in markup from cost. If it's discount from list, it needs to be discount from list. And if it's margins, it needs to be margins. Otherwise, it won't work correctly and it will get rather confusing. So one note that I see a lot on margins when people set those up. So margins are done not like So where markup from cost would be 1.50, gross profit would be 50.00. That is saying that you're going to add 50% of your, of your cost on top of your cost. Same thing. So if I wanted to do 75%, what would be markup from cost would be 1.75. Here it would be 75. That's something I see that it's important for people to know about. And you can always go back through and edit and change these as you go along. So if you're, doing some kind of special or something, you can set that and then change it back later. These aren't permanent. All right. And so the next method for pricing is called a schedule. And schedules take the place of many of the discount tables that you would set up. These are really great for, if you have installation charges that you do based on, say, I don't know, the number of panels or something like that, or the category of door or something like that. You can set up a schedule to fill in that pricing for you automatically. And so what you would do is you would say, okay, I'm going to put in, like, this is going to calculate this based on unit inch. So that is your height plus your width. So if I had a 72-inch door, tall door, plus a 30-inch door, it'd be 102 is my unit inch. And then I can set that price. So my price would be, I'm going to say $200. And say, so I want to charge $200 for every 102-inch door that I install is basically where I would go with this. Or maybe I want to do, for a 150-inch door, it would be $300 and so on and so forth. And you can just build and build and build. And then, you can also reach a point where you're like, if you have anything additional, you can say that for every additional, say, 1 unit inch beyond that maximum that I have there, that 150, I'm going to add an additional $25. And so the system will automatically calculate that for you, that if you go beyond that unit inch, it's automatically going to add that $25. Okay, and same thing with the markups and the costs, that's already done. Now it's important to notice that these schedules, you can't do schedules and markups, margins, or discounts at the same time. So you come in here, you have to apply a schedule to a table. So if I wanted to do just a scheduled table, I'm going to go ahead and create one here. So I'm going to say installation schedules. And I'm going to choose the correct category. Okay, now you have to apply that schedule, if you want it to every single door. Or you can do, like I said, you can build it, based on kind of however you want, but you do have to apply it to a markup table. And so then that's done. And so then I can come back to my customers and I can again apply that table. Now, schedules can be applied to any category, and they can be applied pretty much universally with any category. So there's a lot of flexibility in them there. They are also kind of confusing, so it's easier to kind of sit down and play with them. But again, so here we are, I have my installation schedule. That's going to override. So I would put it, like when I test this, I always put it in my installation category down here. But for that, I was just showing that, you do have to apply it to your category, and then it will automatically apply that pricing for you. All right, and so the last thing I wanted to show on pricing is how do you do it at a quote level. So say something, you have, a unique situation where you need to change the markups or the discounts or whatever on a specific quote. You can actually click the edit button on your quote, and you'll see that you have this markup multiplier here and this markdown percent. You can put in a markup here. So I'm going to put in 1.858 and update. All right. There you are. And now you'll notice this will override this right here. That will override what I had before. So anything you do in here, you can't combine discounts. So if you're going to change the amount here, it's going to completely override what you did in what you have set up for your customer. So you can't really combine discounts. If you're wanting to try to do that, you need to do the math on it to reconfigure it that way. All right. And then the last thing I just wanted to cover real quick is how to search for doors and quotes and orders, because that does come up. You know, you're trying to find an old one that you've done, and you're not sure where to find it. So you could search through here. You know, scrolling down, it would be kind of a pain, but you can do that. Or you can come over here to the search function, and if you know, like if you know part of the quote number, so let's say if I know it was a 2-3, I can do that and it'll pull up every quote or order with a 2-3 in it. Or I can search by my PO number. That's part of the reason we really like people to put in those PO numbers, that we really strongly recommend PO numbers and customer references. Those are unique enough that it's much easier to find with those. Same thing with address and phone number. You know, you don't have to, but again, it's kind of easier to help find those. And you can also search for expired quotes in here. They will still show up for a quote number if you put, just gonna put a 5. So any quote that I've ever done that has a 5 in it is automatically going to show up here, whether or not it's expired. All right. And if I have a comment, I'm going to respond to that. All right. And so I believe that will, for the most part, cover everything. I do see we have a couple of questions. I wanted to go over that real quick in the chat box. Like I said, if you do have questions, please feel free to write them in here, and I will go over them right now, or you can shoot me an email and I will go over it right after we're done. And I'm also actually going to go ahead and put my phone number up here as well to go ahead and give a call in line as well. Let me just write that down here real quick. That is my direct line. And my contact information and my email. All right. I'm going to go ahead and give this just a minute to see if we have anyone else come in the chat here. And if not, I think we'll go ahead and conclude this webinar. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Please feel free to send in any questions or requests that you have if you want to see something else, or if you're still confused on something, please send me your ideas and I will cover them in future webinars. And on that same level, if you have, you know, suggestions for improvement or things you'd like to see, again, please send those in. We want to improve this. We want to make it great for everybody. So if you have an idea, if you want to be able to see something, let us know. We're trying to get it at the very least. All right, great. Thank you so much for everyone, and I hope to see you not next week because of the holidays, but week following. That is the week of December 1st, believe it or not. So, all right, see you guys then. Thank you very much.